It's early. We are 8:19. Is that right?
8:19.
Yes, it's 8:19, which isn't that bad. But the fact that Ryan gets up at 10:19, and it's Monday morning, and we're driving to a golf tournament, but it's raining and.
I'm getting a little sketched out about this.
Everything's a little designed a little bit differently than we thought it was going to be when we signed up for this
skies.
2 weeks ago.
Sunny skies and
either way,
Beach.
we're excited. We're going to be we're headed up to Huntington Beach Club in Huntington Beach, California. I got to play here last year. Really nice course. We're going to see our boy Jayson Williams. He is part of the Fxck Cancer Foundation, and we are excited to get out and support the foundation. Number one, we're going to be talking to those guys when we get there. Jayson is big Ironman guy, triathlon guy, so he kind of heads up that side of the foundation and makes some really cool gear. Good dude. And so we're going to be out there having fun today. We got our boy Jon from New Day Golf coming to join us, so he's meeting up with us. Not sure where he's at. He's probably stuck on the 91 somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll see you on hole 12. But
see you on hole 12, Johnny.
Yeah, so we're just we figured, you know what? Hey, instead of getting home tonight late and trying to do a podcast
after a golf tournament,
being really tired, we figured why not be really tired in the morning and do it instead? Way smarter.
Brilliant. While I'm driving. This is our first on the road show, and first of hopefully many if we can get this right. We have a GoPro mounted to the dash of my 6-speed. So once we get off the road here for a little herky-jerky, don't worry about that.
It's very Kardashians, carpool karaoke.
It's so great.
It's weird.
I was asking if this is legal. I hope this is legal.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out the hard way. We might get some really good footage of us getting pulled over here.
Soon find out.
It's Monday, like he said. We're going to a golf tournament. These are the things that fuel us. You know, it's fun. It's getting out and doing things on your own terms and not working. I was able to put my auto replies on my emails and the do not disturbs on the text messages today. But there is some rain, so we might just be sitting in the clubhouse just filming some more.
It does say we got that for anybody not California. We get that coastal nastiness, and we're driving down the coast. So a little dirty, but it says 1 o'clock. It's supposed to be clear and sunshine. So might start a little wet, but again, when I'm golfing, I don't get too sad about things like this.
MB loves to golf in the rain. Actually,
I don't let him affect me.
He'll hit me as I'm like hard pass in the rain.
Immediately no.
Yeah, Mr. Diva.
I'm like, cool, Torrey Pines, and then we're going to Aviara. We're playing 36.
Like, I have my head out.
He says no thanks. There's a sprinkle.
Yeah, I'd rather stay
not
at
doing
home.
it. But man, you know what? I wanted to talk about. I'm looking at yellow flowers. I'm looking at spring, and I was going to say that it's finally stopping raining in California, as we tell them about the beautiful rain we're driving through.
The May gray.
But you know what's crazy is I want to tell everybody, one, thank you. We had a podcast 2 episodes ago that kind of dove into my current position with Trust Me Vodka, my backstory for those that didn't know of Trust Me Vodka, or my involvement with Trust Me Vodka, any of that. We really dove into that, and then had to get into a little more sensitive subject about where I'm at, my involvement, and me not being there anymore. Again, those are those things that are tough, especially when we've got 10, 11 years vested into something. It's tough to stomach, no matter how it happens. Then when it happens in a not so good way, it's really tough. But also, you got to move on, So I want to say thank you, because I've had a lot of people that I've almost felt bad for, because some of the episodes and me kind of not being around and stuff is, like, I think scared some people to where I'll bump into good friends, and I'll bump into people that acquaintances that I kind of know, but I don't really talk to, and don't know that they're paying attention or caring anything about what I'm doing, that are like, I feel like, oh my God, like, yes, I'm fine, the family's fine, we're healthy, everybody's good, all the important stuff, but yeah, this Trust Me Vodka thing sucks, but we'll be okay,
My mom reached out. I told you that. She was like, tell him that's bullshit, we're going after. I'm like, Mom, it's okay, he's gonna be okay. Is he okay?
Yeah, so a lot of that, a lot of people that you would kind of expect, which is still awesome, and a ton of people that I would never expect, and DMs and people that I've run into face to face, a lot of support, a lot of love, and I mean seriously, when you say a lot of love, I'm meaning it, because how I feel and the way that people have approached me and talked to me from all levels and just in support. So I guess the good part about this, where I'm maybe downplaying that it's, hey, God, I'm fine, everyone's fine, is like anyone's mental health and what people go through and how it affects you and family and relationships, etc. You never want to downplay that, and sometimes you might not even know yourself, So for me, yes, for me and my wife and my family, it has been a very tough stretch because of the fact of a lot of unknowns, because of things that we know, and just how do we recover from this, all this, that you try and be super, super, super strong and not maybe let people know how bad it is or how you feel, So a lot of sometimes where you just kind of just hide out, I guess is the best thing you can do. Or when it's time to talk about it, don't talk about it because it's too emotional and too much
stuff
to talk
you can't
about.
talk about.
Yeah. So a combination of all that, I do seriously say thank you, and tons of love felt and received because of the fact that people, I can tell it's genuine. While you actually give a shit, because you don't even need to approach me right now or message me or anything if you didn't actually care. So to all you out there that have reached out to me and my wife and everything just to make sure we're good. Yes, we're good. Again, everything happens for a reason is always the mantra that I live by. That also gets old over time to get as at the age we're at, and constantly have to tell yourself that right when you think you found something or figured something out, or life's doing this, that you're always going to get hit. So it's like, oh, it happened for a reason, happened for a reason. But when we all believe in that, it makes it easier to say that, because you're not saying it necessarily to justify something. You actually feel it, and sometimes when you say that in the beginning, you're like, F that.
Yeah.
Screw that. I don't believe in that anymore. But then a week can go by, turns into a month, turns into time, and it's so clear and obvious that everything happens for a reason. So, for me, I'm just wanted to touch on that as of late, it's been really cool to know, I'm myself, my wife, we love to get out and meet people and talk to people and network and all that. And we just had a last episode with Turhan talking about, what a great person he is, and kind of just, just the way that he shows and talks about people and his relationships and his friends and all that is really cool, and who we all want to strive to be as we get older, especially. It's like being the cool guy and being, fronting some, facade is like you outgrow those things over time if you're that person. I'm not saying that necessarily we're that person, I hope.
No.
Everybody's like, hell yeah.
No, it's really, I'll just briefly, I think it's about being vulnerable. We talked about on the last episode, you start to learn, like you're learning now, how many people really do have your back, right? I think you shut yourself in because you were going up against a whole cavalry of people turning their turrets, and in that scenario, and just yourself, beating yourself up, and it affects your family and it affects your relationships. And we talked about that. I think you said it's just easier to just kind of hunker down, and sometimes, most of the time, that's just not the right decision, right? But then when you're out after this episode and you were able to be vulnerable and expose the realities of where you're at, it's opening doors, and your opportunities, but you're also just seeing that centrifuge that we talked about episodes ago with the day twos, and really how many people genuinely care about you, people like you said that don't need to approach you. That's positive, uplifting, and it creates this floor that you're like, okay, I got a bunch of people on my back now. It's confidence, right? It's got to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, again, confidence always. No matter how confident you are, and again, I'm going to keep using the with age thing because we're at that point that things that I did when I was 25 and 30 and 35, especially maybe in my line of work, to where I'm creating brands and apparel, and I'm having to stay hip with fashion trends and the hottest shoes and all the things. I love those things, but again, maybe what my 16-year-old kid and my 23-year-old kid and everywhere in between thinks is cool, and what they're out purchasing and looking at is not what 49, soon to be 50-year-old dad is looking at. But I'm the one designing the things also that they're purchasing out of the stores. You know, whether they always see that or not, and that's a weird place for me. Sometimes you get older, you start thinking about, and you know, even just dressing the way that I dress, where you're kind of like, I'm just me. I'm not thinking about an age. This is what I wear. It's what I've always worn, and I'm gonna try and put on my dope kicks and match it up with this and do that. And like, that's who I am also as a designer. But then sometimes you're like walking out of the house, like, people are probably like, who the hell is this guy thinking? Who's this old ass thinking?
Yes. Do you feel like in that realm, like, just speaking on this because we're just being organic, I always have this feeling, because I'm so out of touch, like, with the stuff and social medias and all that stuff. I'm very minimal, like I always say. Do you feel it's so fast moving that you just constantly have to be submerged into it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would feel like I was so behind just like on a show. Yeah. It's like binge watching a show, like everyone's talking about. You're like, God, I have so much to catch up on, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you have to stay relevant, right? I would feel
you have to stay relevant. And again, it's not hard for me necessarily, because that's what I'm passionate about, and that's why I got into this line of work for years. And we talked about Turhan, a perfect example. We're constantly, you know, sending each other sneakers every oh, did you see the new Jordan? Look at this one. Look at this one. Oh, they're doing a restock of this one back in the day with this on it. So we're hip to all that stuff, and that's what we love, and that's what, you know, if I had all the money, I probably wouldn't even be golfing today. I'd probably be sneaker shopping.
Yeah, we stop off in Carlsbad and go pick up some
or
kids.
both, exactly both, since we're headed up towards LA.
Yeah.
Get a different look on some sneakers. But,
you know, talking about what we're doing today, I, you know, personally, you know, being able to do these things is what keeps the dangling carrot going. It's vacations with my wife, it's dinner with my wife and my family, and being able to do these things. You know, what I talked about in the past on the first episode, my lifestyle is just way crazy and different because of the restaurant industry. I don't work that 9 to 5. I work 9 to 10:30 p.m., 10 a.m. to midnight, 10:30 to 11:30, and it's 5 days a week, and it's all weekends, and it's during volume. You know, we throw an 80s party yesterday for and switch our service. It basically, for me, you know, I start thinking about value, and I was taught something about 20 plus years ago by a really wise friend that's still a really close friend of mine. You know, and he said, you know, what do you value? And I was like 20 years old. He's like, what's valuable to you? And, you know, we were talking about cars, and, you know, we talk about shoes, and we talk about our golf clubs and money and value, but he taught me, you know, the most valuable thing is time. And Turhan, I was talking about time. I wanted to talk about this last episode, and I've always said it, like, the most valuable thing is owning your own time. You know, some of the most successful people that I know have all the money, and they're like, I just don't have. I was talking to a guy about a month ago, and he's like in town, and he's like, Ryan, you know what? I'm miserable because I'm traveling nonstop. I have money. I'm barely home, and I don't have any time to do anything with it. So really, that value of owning your own time, and I try and teach
what's that balance that you're looking for?
I try and teach my younger employees, and I tell them all that. And it's when you say owning your own time, we'll go deeper into that real quick. It's not the time you think you own, not the time where you're like, you have bills due and you're not paying your rent and you're living at your mom's crib. It's owning the time that you've paid your bills and you're working hard and you saved, or you're doing what you're doing. But what are you doing in that time? It's not about spending the money, it's about spending the time, right? And I can't stress that enough. For me, owning those little minuscule amounts of time where I'm with my family, with my wife, we're golfing together, we're doing this podcast.
Mostly with me. Most important.
It became,
sorry, Shawnee,
right now so much more valuable to me than ever, realizing that I need to start controlling more of owning my own time. And that was approaching, you know, Jamie and Mark, my incredible like bosses and partners at work that I work alongside with a lot of the time. They're just incredible people. But really kind of saying, okay, I need to start making more time for my family, and not seeing them, and owning that time, being able to do things that I'm passionate about, getting out, doing this podcast, getting out and golfing, getting on vacation, getting out to dinners, getting off early, going in late, and those sort of scenarios. You know, but lastly, like that time piece, again, a lot of people think they own their time, and they're out wasting their time when they should be doing other things. Yeah. You know, so the value of something like this today, I was up at like 4 this morning, like super pumped, super excited all week. Knew I had to get through Sunday, massive day, and target doing this and letting go, releasing. And I know that bills are paid. Family's good. I'm going to go have a fun day. We're going to shoot this podcast. I'm going to go play some golf and just release for a 6 to 8 hour window.
It is something you have to train yourself to do and enjoy. There's two things to that, and I know that myself and you especially, even when you have set days aside to do things like this, to go golf and things, it doesn't always work out that way because you're not programmed to shut it down and turn things off, and I don't need to check my email today. It is my day off. But when you're do your job and you're good at your job and you're connected to your job and you feel like this is you, this is my company and my makeup and my brand, even if you don't own it outright, you dedicate yourself to that, to where shit, like I was just hoping I could get away with not having to do this, but if someone hits me and they got questions and I got to do this, I'm going to dive right into that and take myself out of the, relaxation day off that I thought I was going to enjoy. But at the same time, we always tend to put it in ourselves that something's going to happen to F this up. What's it going to be? So you're ready for it. And then what happens, you just grab the phone or whatever and you start dealing with it, So that's another trait. I know many people too that are successful that have also found ways, successful and unsuccessful, meaning that they're struggling in life maybe like I have been for a long time, but you're still able to find a way that like, I'm going to do this for me and or my wife and family and then enjoy it because I have to. So no matter what we all do that. Like I'm still that person. I'm learning more, but I'm eventually going to have this money and this and this and this and this. So I'm going to put that off until I get to that point type of situation, So you're always perfect, exactly what you're saying, and I'm glad you said this. The time part.
There's nothing, honestly, the line I use is there's nothing more valuable because my younger employees, right? I'll be at the end of the night, I'm like, what are you guys going to go do?
Yeah.
So tell me more. I'm living it vicariously through them. Yeah. Because if you can do what you want when you want, there is nothing more valuable. And when you have kids and you're entangled into work, you can't do that. And I'm like, what's it like to be able to do what you want when you want? I'm just going to go get lunch, and then I'm just going to take a nap. And I know my wife right now, shout out to you, babe. You've been going through the ringer. We've had a rough month. Everyone has stuff going on, but she's been an absolute beast handling so many intangibles, from fostering and rehoming an awesome dog to fleas coming in and getting rid of that, to trying to transfer my daughter to a new school, to taking care of my youngest one, and doing her job and doing 2 jobs and trying to deal with me. And for us, she's off on the weekend, so Friday, Saturday night, those are my busiest. I'm at work all night. We're like 2 ships crossing. So you can imagine when I wake up early on a rare day, and I apologize, I wake up early today, and she's like, cool, woke up early today to go golf. I love you. You're amazing. I didn't get to give you enough shout outs on the last episode, but it's been me talking to people, especially the females at work, just in awe, crushing life right now. So it gives me that stability to own our time. So we just booked Palm Springs in July, so you're going to have to come up. We're going to have to do a podcast.
I will. So I'm going to keep going on that because it's such a great subject to understand that. And I guess this is like the age episode, because what I'm going to say is why we're both talking about it so much and understanding it so much is because of the fact that we're entering that part where you really start to understand age and look at God, you start to think about, okay, the things that I've done or things that I didn't do. And back to my point, I put 10 years into something that every guarantee it's going to succeed. Every guarantee. And again, for anyone listening that's trusting, I'm not saying it's not going to succeed, just not necessarily the way that I thought that I would be participating in helping it maybe succeed. Hopefully things that I did in the past and getting it there are part of whoever and however it moves forward for it to succeed. So not saying that, but you start to break down your time in life of when you do things, and when you're like, well, I'm gonna hurry up and do this and make a bunch of money on this, and then I can hang out with my family and take them on vacations, and all of a sudden that 3 years turns into 5 and going. 7 and 10 and 30. Oh, and then, well, unfortunately, that didn't end the way that you thought it would. Yeah. So guess what? Reset, start over. Like, what do you mean start? I don't have time to start over. I'm not young enough to start over. I'm not there, that this isn't an option. So you go through all those things, and then you start to realize, yeah, it is. It actually is. And did you learn anything from that to where you can fast track whatever you do moving forward to avoid all that BS that you just went through, and maybe take a 10-year down to a 3-year? And then you're like, wait, I'm kind of right back where I was, or where I thought I was going to be. I just did a bunch of swerving and maneuvering intentionally and very unintentionally to land here because somebody above was also going, cool, but here, new plan. We're coming over here. We're coming over here. Push you, lean on you a little more.
Pivot.
Over here. So for me, I want to really solidify what you're saying, that I can tell anybody out there that the time with your kids.
I know. It's like, and you look back and it starts to get away from you. And that's where I'm at right now as well. It's like I'm like looking back. My oldest daughter's working for me. My daughter's 13. She's going through 13s, and I can't be there all the time. And you feel guilty. You feel like you need to be there. It's like, what can you do to make that time now? Because you can't get that time back, right?
Yeah, you can't. You'll never get it back, and you also can't look back and dwell on that.
Yeah, it's just negative, but it's hard, and that's where we're both at, man. Both in different retrospects, both different angles of life, but for both of us, I think we're having these awakening moments. I think this cast is incredible for us to be able to let it out, get together, talk about stuff we don't get to always talk about, like we were talking before we even started shooting this, catching up on some cool stuff, fun things in both of our lives, and crazy things in both of our lives. For both of us, but for me right now, I got to create more time, and I got to be there to support my family and whatever that takes. I've been 5 years deep into this establishment.
I know we're coming up on good weather, spring, summer, poolside.
Yeah,
we'll create more time. Hey, it's been hard to create more time when we have our shitty time change that we voted to change. Goddamn, I don't know how many years ago that we just said ignore that.
Literally.
And so that
Midwest ruined that for everybody because
you're always on
snow to melt.
Yeah, you're always on Suey watch during that time of year anyway. Then we turned into Southern California, turned into a version of Seattle. So it's been tough on top of that. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to complain about weather and different things, and unfortunately with our climate and all that, God only knows what the future has in store for us here. But for me, that we pay the premium. We pay the premium. So it's almost like, if you're at a resort and you paid for X and you don't get that shit, I'm going to be looking for some money back.
Yeah, and you got the full bed.
So I know nobody can control the weather, but holy shit, the reason we might bitch about our not perfect weather all the time is because we pay the premium for that shit.
We've been conditioned for it.
And if not, then where else are we going to go?
Another crazy thing is it's going to be 105 to 108 degrees here in a month
tomorrow.
And a half. And they're going to be like, where's the rain? We just wish we had rain. Never satisfied here in
tomorrow.
California.
We're going to go from dog shit to it's 110. I can't breathe. I can't go outside. I hate my life. Over here now.
Spoiled Southern Californians, bunch
but
of nerds.
again, my point to as spoiled we are, we're spoiled because we pay the premium. So anybody that lives wherever you live, if you go on a vacation and you drop $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 and some shit doesn't go for the way what you paid for, you're going to be bitching and complaining. So that's kind of the way that I look at our life of living in San Diego.
It's true.
Is we pay the premium to get this shit. So I don't mind some rain. I can deal with some overcast. I can deal with some cold. But when it becomes the new makeup of where you live, I got a fucking problem with that.
I got fucking problems with this. We're going to need a redo on this one today. How are we shooting today, by the way? We got me, you, Jon Cantrell, and Jayson. How did we get teamed up with the guy that runs the event?
So again, Jon Cantrell, his background is basketball. He has a men's basketball league. That's awesome. That's
the
kind of
three-point shooter sniper.
That is the background of where when I met Jon and what he still does and is very passionate about is originally he was Take Pride Golf. You guys have seen and heard of that. Ryan's wearing
on my
an old
shirt,
school shirt
with
right
the mic
now.
underneath, wearing the throwback.
I might have helped him out with a little elephant print just because I like to steal shit from Jordan. That's what I do. So that's his background, and then he's a big golf guy. So he started doing a golf brand alongside of that years ago. I started helping him with some design, and we both started wearing the product. Amazing, like the best. I don't know how. I'm not sure what he's sprinkling on his to make it different. I know the guys that make all the golf gloves for every brand that's out there, and have sampled them all and tested them all for them and done everything. And then Jon has this Take Pride golf glove that's like the softest, most comfortable thing ever. And like a year later, you're like, it's brand new. I've played in it 70 times.
I rip golf gloves like fat dudes rip yoga pants, dude. Like, it's crazy. Every time you give me a glove, I'm like, Jon, I'm still on the first one. Like, this is almost bad business. You're supposed to make them break out eventually. Then I went through a phase where they all just started popping on me. I think I jinxed it. But the New Day, stuff's dope.
I think the factory switched up on him and didn't tell him, and he went back at him and said, that ain't happening anymore.
He's hopefully bringing me a hat today. I went online, looked for it to drop soon. I guess it's supposed to drop soon, so that's dope. The new design's dope. You're chimed in with all.
It's because I have them all. I have all the hats.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you do. You have so many hats. The man with many hats, and I'm like, where the fuck's my hat?
That's what they mean by I wear many hats. I'm not doing shit. I just have a bunch of hats.
The man of many hats. It's funny because I get a little guff, I think, every once in a while because I have like 130 hats and I wear 3.
Yeah.
I wear the same 3 or 4, and the rest are just in boxes.
Hey, he did. I'm gonna tell you that the last episode with Turhan, he's running that green Celtics hat, and
you see that once.
Even though that's his team, that's like that thing came out of.
Thing came out of the box.
Yeah, so that still had he forgot the tag was still on. Yeah, that was nice. But so today, as far as how we're gonna shoot,
how we shoot.
I think Jason's not a Jayson. Here's what we love. This is a scramble today. For those of you who don't know, it's 4 guys having some cocktails, talking shit, having fun, but we're playing a scramble. So every shot we pick up a ball, best shot, and we all play from there on every shot. So you're supposed to go low. These tournaments are anywhere from 15 to 23 under, ridiculous. Like
we've won some.
Somehow
like
people
13.
got every hole perfect and got a hole in one and got an albatross. Like shit that you're just like, this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
and then you look over at the team and they're like 80 years old. No, you didn't. Yeah.
So today with Jason's just what you love about these, and the point of a scramble is you love those dudes. They're just the fun dudes to be there. Your Sergios, your Turhans, like these are the people you want. You're like, I don't even if you're good or not, I don't care, because you're just gonna keep the vibes so good and keep us positive. So I think Jayson, from the last time I know, is kind of in that realm of he's just out there having fun. But at any point, everybody dedicates a putt, a chip, some shot when we all kind of like, oh my God, it came through, we did it. That's what it's all about. So I think we're gonna get that. I haven't played with Jon, and God, it's been.
He's been playing. That's
maybe a couple years, but he plays. That's what he does. He lives in golf course country. So he plays. So I'm gonna go ahead and rely on him and put the pressure on him and tell him and show him this for the podcast, that if we suck, it's because of him. Because if I got LeBron on my team and we're not in the running, I'm blaming LeBron, not me.
Yeah, I'm 6 man coming off the bench. I'm here for a good time, not a long time today. Well, probably a long time.
And he's a Lakers guy, and the Lakers are about to get their ass kicked here tonight once this is over. So hopefully Jon is in Lakers win mode.
Oh, he will be.
Maybe he's not sad yet because they haven't lost yet.
Probably a new golf bag, new clubs.
He'll have some new shit from Nike Golf.
Some new shit. And always got some new shit.
Hey, guess what? Right? They haven't been on the podcast yet. I got some new shit that's never been released.
I saw you pop those out of the garage
that Jon can't have because they don't exist. So, whatever he's got that I'm gonna love, I know what he ain't gonna have. So don't worry about that. But yeah, you guys will be seeing some shoe game. You guys will be hearing some shit talking, and it's gonna be fun. And we're gonna catch you next out at the course with Jayson, with Fxck Cancer. We're gonna talk a ton about them, and we almost made it here. We're pulling in. Yeah. It's still raining. So hopefully by the time we see you, sun is popping. Bottles are popping.
Oh man, I gotta
Shots are
drive back, so
Putts
I'll probably
are
be
dropping.
the most sober out of the rest of us. Famous last words, but yeah.
Bottles popping and putts are dropping.
Big shots dropping.
New T-shirt. We'll be launching that this week on
watch out.
ChasingTheCool.com. Make sure you get that follow. YouTube, Spotify. We'll see you out the course.
Be back,
Huntington Beach. Boys, look at us.
Look at us. The boys are here.
I joined the foundation back in 2017. Yeah, I'm a triathlete, and I lost my best friend to cancer, so I wanted to start a team and start something better than me. So I started the Fuck Cancer Endurance Club. So we have about 1,200 athletes in 22 countries, and we do experiences. One of the experiences that we do is I take 2 cancer fighters and their families to Kona for a full VIP experience for the Ironman World Championships. And that's what Fuck Cancer does.
And he has some dope kicks. Look at these guys. Look at these guys, dude. Sheesh, sheesh, sheesh. Sheesh.
The kick game is major.
Yeah.
We told you.
Yeah, we're live here with Jon Cantrell. You've heard enough about Jon and all the podcasts. Mitchell talking about him. New Day Golf. As you might notice from the car ride, I got a new hat.
You did.
This guy got me clean. He knows me too. Black and white all day, every day.
Yeah.
We got Jon up here at the Huntington Club. We're here for the Fuck Cancer Golf Tournament. We're super pumped. I told him, let's get onto the microphone, let's get on the camera a little bit. You got New Day Golf. They've seen the hats, they've seen the gear. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that.
So far, so good. It's definitely a process. I think we're kind of approaching it the right way, doing it the right way. We've learned what to do and what not to do from the past, and taken a lot of critiquing and criticism from friends and family and people that I respect myself, and just not being too prideful and knowing that, thinking that you know too much, and being open-minded, I guess you could say, and, just taking one day at a time.
Speaking of one day at a time, when are we launching? Do you have a target day to launch?
Not a target date. Estimated kind of, I would say, a few months, maybe midsummer to end of summer, I would say. If I can get it done, in time where I feel comfortable about it and knowing that we're in the right direction, everything is coming to fruition, I feel that'll be the time.
You got gloves, you got hats,
Absolutely,
you're going to have sweaters, polos.
And the thing that we're going to be doing too that I'm really excited about is the girls line, the women's line, and then the kids. There's not a lot of cool brands out there that cater to the kids, and I'm really excited about that. That's the direction, and we're going to cater to the future.
That's a huge project, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's super pumped. One of our great friends here. It's super big project. I mean, you're going kids, you're going women's now, launching off of that Take Pride Golf. Check this cat out. Obviously, you're going to be seeing him on the show and hearing about him.
This is Benny, man. This is Benny. This is the New Day. Benny the Clock. He's ready to go.
We know a Benny. Benny B.
Yeah, I know Benny, but not Benny the Clock, baby. You're on the clock. Talking about time this morning, dude. Here we go.
Hey,
time is everything, right?
For sure.
Let's
And,
go.
BC.
Own your own time.
And you know who made this, right? You know who made this.
Let me guess.
I mean,
one guess who made this. The creative mastermind.
Bailey, the man behind the camera.
Yeah, it's weird how he comes up with every idea. He actually came up with how my day was going to go.
And
he said you'll contribute to one shot.
It's a new day. But props to Mitch, man. He's always coming in clutch, and I kind of come up with like a little idea, and he puts it into freaking
puts the
serious,
universe, man. He manifested.
It's just crazy, man. This guy's brain is nuts. This guy's talent is nuts, and it's nice to have him
Let's go
in the friend zone.
You're gonna see us on the course today. Hopefully, Jon, I hope your back feels good. You're carrying us today.
Let's have some fun, boys.
Let's go.
Here we go. Hole number 1 out of the way. We already chopped up a birdie. Ryan put it on. This guy just tapped it in. No big deal. Now we're gonna have some cocktails.
Hole number 1 out of the way.
Let's go.
Super cold, windy. The rain has stopped, but it's cold. But guess what? Ryan said, you know what? I'm just gonna tap a little 5-iron, 187. Put it about 6 feet out. And Jason said, hey, instead of all of us putting, because it's cold, all of us putt on the first one and tap it in.
Ran back to the cart and hunkered down.
So we're just starting with a birdie. That's what we do.
2, 3, fire.
Oh yeah! That was rad.
Well, that escalated quickly. I feel like we need to tee up the Curb Your Enthusiasm Larry David music right now.
Yeah, we're driving back. We're on the 5 south. We are sunburnt somehow, miraculously, because
two
it is
lobsters.
raining right now.
Yeah.
And finished 18 under on the tournament. That's pretty
It's
respectable.
It's a good day. It's not good enough for these tournaments. We don't even know. We got out of there because there was no reason to stick around for another hour and a half to find out that we got 8.
Mulligan alert. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They give you unlimited mulligans. So
Apparently
with that, it's knowing what we were having to do to get to 18 and what the group behind us was amazing because we could see their shots landing
literally zooming by our head
right
like
there coming at us. So we know they were
through.
good. So they were in the 20 to 23 range easily. So yeah, but yeah, respectable for us. But yeah, we're moving a little slower than we were. We thought we were slow this morning, lack of coffee.
Yeah, it's catching up.
We were still like adrenaline hype, ready to get out and golf and have this big day, and now we're just
just literally the Larry David music. But fun tournament, awesome tournament. They had taco guys, the usual suspects, the ball cannons, everything fun, well produced, well put together. We'll definitely be playing in it every year. Like you said, Jason's probably invited us back, so I think we're going to be welcome to the team now. Driving back south, though, we got to throw some fun at you guys right now because we're bored. We're in the car, and we got to finish out this show. We're going to finish out this show right.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring back
do some old school this or that.
this or that.
I was trying to fire up some questions. They had the first one that I saw in here that is, would you rather be Instagram famous or infomercial famous?
Ooh. I grew up falling asleep to infomercials. I love infomercials. Cue up the
grill.
Cue up the any grill, any Essence
Cue up the
Emerald
George
product
Foreman, the George
prior
Foreman.
to that. Yeah, any little quirky system. I would love to be infomercial famous because I feel like it's a smaller market.
Yeah.
I feel like I could target that market. We could probably sell a bunch of 12-foot. Oh, dude, I'm dying right now, dude. I'm dying right now.
Wait. Where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this? Are you selling blue balls? Are you selling
the blue balls.
Real quick, there's a company out there that's brilliant, and it's my type of marketing. So I got to give them a mention. There's a company at the tournament called Blue Balls. So
Golf
take
ball
that
company.
wherever you want to take it. When we actually got around to the hole where they explained to us what it was, because we, again, get it. But almost even for me, I think for both of us, it's a little too novelty and a little too far. Once they explained it to us, it's awesome because they're basically glow-in-the-dark balls, and the tagline for it is never finish too soon.
Never finish too soon.
Which is just,
brilliant. I mean, whoever came up with that.
It's actually brilliant, but what we're talking about is you play the twilight hours, you finally get out, and the sun always goes down. You typically end up with 2 or 3 holes. You got to dip out, leave early, or you're trying to play, you can't see the ball. So their whole marketing is behind that, and it was actually, I got to give them
They nailed it. They were wearing blue velvet suits. I mean,
She's glow.
Okay, good. So we never want you to have blue balls on the course, right? You're playing for a twilight round or something like that.
Yes.
You want to keep going. You don't want to finish early.
Never finish early.
We got a whole bunch of stuff, and we're partnered officially with the Testicular Cancer
Help yourselves
Society.
to the tea.
So we have a limited edition ball. It's purple. There you go, Testicular Cancer Society. 2% of all of our profits, everything that we make goes directly to them as well.
That's dope. Heck yeah.
And it's Testicular Cancer Month.
It is. You got to check your balls.
Check your balls.
Gotta check your ball.
Anyway, it was just good for them, because if you're gonna do it, go all in, do all the marketing.
yeah,
so,
they really went.
We of course had some extra marketing that we could have thrown their way, but we'll keep that to us.
Wow.
But anyway, so back to the this or that. Instagram famous or
we can't use this. This is so good.
Oh,
We cannot use
great
this.
timing.
Yeah, we cannot use this. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
Wait, cut to the shot.